Welcome to Freema Audiobooks, where lasting change is built through simple actions practiced every single day. And we're glad you're here for an audiobook focused on steady, realistic self-growth. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by self-improvement advice, frustrated by starting and stopping, or unsure how to actually change your life in a sustainable way, this audiobook is for you, because real self-improvement is not about dramatic transformation, but about small habits that quietly reshape who you become over time. Today's audiobook is titled Daily Self-Improvement Habits Audiobook English, and it is a practical, calming guide to building better habits, stronger discipline, clearer thinking, and consistent personal growth without pressure or burnout. This audiobook focuses on daily routines, mindset shifts, emotional balance, focus, and long-term improvement through repetition and self-respect rather than motivation alone. Before we begin, we invite you to subscribe to Freema Audiobooks like this audiobook, share it with someone who wants to improve their life one day at a time, and leave a comment telling us where you are listening from, because your support helps this channel continue creating meaningful audiobooks that support real, everyday personal growth. Before we begin, it is important to know that this audiobook is carefully structured into 8 chapters, each designed to help you build real self-improvement through simple daily habits that are practical, sustainable, and effective over time. Each chapter builds on the previous one, so by the end of this audiobook you will understand not only what habits improve your life, but why daily consistency is the true engine of long-term personal growth. Chapter 1. The Power of Daily Habits. Why Small Actions Create Big Life Changes. This chapter is important because most lasting self-improvement does not come from motivation, inspiration, or dramatic life changes, but from small habits repeated daily with patience and intention. In this chapter, you will learn why habits shape identity more than goals. You will understand how daily actions compound over time. You will discover why willpower alone fails. You will learn how habits reduce decision fatigue. You will understand why consistency matters more than intensity. You will see how habits quietly shape behavior. You will learn why daily improvement feels slow but works powerfully. You will understand how habits influence mindset. You will gain clarity on breaking negative cycles. You will learn why habits create stability. You will understand how habits build confidence. And by the end of this chapter, you will clearly see why daily habits are the foundation of real self-improvement. Daily habits shape your life because repeated behavior trains your brain and nervous system to respond automatically, rather than emotionally or impulsively. What you do repeatedly becomes familiar. What becomes familiar requires less effort. Reduced effort increases consistency. Consistency builds momentum. Momentum creates change. Habits operate quietly in the background. They influence choices without conscious struggle. Over time, habits become identity. Identity shapes decisions. Decisions shape outcomes. This is how small actions become life-changing. Many people fail at self-improvement because they rely on motivation instead of habits, and motivation naturally rises and falls based on mood, energy, and circumstances. Motivation feels powerful temporarily. When motivation fades, action stops. Habits continue regardless of mood. Habits remove negotiation. They reduce resistance. They create stability. Stability supports growth. Growth becomes predictable. Habits protect progress when motivation disappears. This is why habits outperform inspiration. Consistency beats excitement. Discipline becomes gentle and reliable. Small habits work because they feel manageable even on difficult days, allowing progress to continue when life feels heavy or overwhelming. Large changes trigger resistance. Resistance causes avoidance. Avoidance stops growth. Small habits lower the barrier to action. Action builds confidence. Confidence reinforces habit. Habit builds momentum. Momentum strengthens discipline. Discipline creates trust with yourself. Trust supports long-term improvement. This cycle makes change sustainable. Habits reduce decision fatigue because they eliminate the need to repeatedly choose whether or not to act. Decisions consume mental energy. Too many decisions create exhaustion. Exhaustion weakens discipline. Habits automate behavior. Automation preserves energy. Preserved energy improves focus. Focus strengthens consistency. Consistency reinforces progress. Mental clarity increases. Life feels less chaotic. Habits create mental space for growth. Daily habits also shape mindset because behavior influences belief more than belief influences behavior. Acting disciplined builds disciplined thinking. Acting calm builds emotional stability. Acting consistent builds confidence. Confidence reshapes self-image. Self-image reinforces habits. This feedback loop strengthens identity. Identity drives long-term behavior. Habits slowly rewrite who you believe you are. This is why habits are powerful. Change happens quietly. Transformation becomes natural. Negative cycles persist because habits reinforce them daily without awareness, making change feel difficult or impossible. Unhealthy habits drain energy. Drained energy weakens focus. Weak focus increases impulsive behavior. Impulsive behavior reinforces bad habits. Awareness breaks this cycle. Small habit changes interrupt patterns. Interruptions create space. Space allows choice. Choice enables improvement. Daily habits redirect momentum. Daily improvement often feels invisible because progress happens gradually rather than dramatically, but invisible progress is still progress. Small changes accumulate silently. Results appear later. Patience supports consistency. Impatience destroys momentum. Trusting the process matters. Habits work. Beneath awareness, growth unfolds naturally. Stability replaces chaos. Confidence grows quietly. This is how real change lasts. Ultimately, daily habits are the foundation of self-improvement because they turn effort into identity and intention into reality. Small actions create structure. Structure creates discipline. Discipline creates stability. Stability supports growth. Growth becomes sustainable. Motivation becomes optional. Change becomes predictable. And once daily habits are aligned with who you want to become, self-improvement stops feeling like a struggle and starts feeling like a natural part of how you live every day. Now that you understand why daily habits are the true foundation of self-improvement, the next step is learning how to build consistency, because habits only create change when they are practiced regularly over time. In the next chapter, we will focus on how consistency is developed, protected, and sustained even when motivation fades. Chapter 2. Consistency over motivation. Building habits that actually last. This chapter is important because many people start self-improvement with excitement but stop when motivation disappears, not realizing that consistency, not enthusiasm, is what creates lasting change. In this chapter, you will learn why motivation is unreliable. You will understand how consistency rewires behavior. You will discover why discipline feels difficult at first. You will learn how consistency builds identity. You will understand why small effort matters daily. You will see how routines protect habits. You will learn why showing up matters more than intensity. You will understand how consistency reduces stress. You will gain clarity on overcoming resistance. You will learn how consistency builds self-trust. You will understand why long-term growth depends on repetition. And by the end of this chapter, you will see consistency as the backbone of self-improvement. Consistency works because repeated behavior trains the brain to expect action regardless of mood or circumstances. The brain adapts through repetition. What is repeated becomes familiar. Familiar actions require less effort. Reduced effort increases reliability. Reliability builds confidence. Confidence reinforces behavior. This loop strengthens habits over time. Consistency removes negotiation. Negotiation drains energy. Energy preservation supports endurance. This is why consistency outperforms motivation. Motivation fluctuates naturally due to stress, fatigue, emotional state, and external pressure, making it an unreliable foundation for growth. High motivation creates momentum temporarily. Low motivation creates resistance. Relying on motivation leads to inconsistency. Inconsistency breaks habits. Habits require repetition. Consistency bridges emotional fluctuations. Action continues despite mood. Progress remains stable. Awareness reduces frustration. Discipline replaces dependence on feeling ready. Growth becomes predictable. Small daily effort is more effective than occasional intense effort because it allows habits to survive difficult days without collapse. Intense effort feels powerful initially. Exhaustion follows quickly. Recovery disrupts routine. Small effort feels manageable. Manageable effort encourages follow-through. Follow-through builds trust. Trust strengthens discipline. Discipline stabilizes growth. Small steps compound silently. Strength grows without burnout. Sustainability matters most. Consistency builds identity because repeated actions influence how you see yourself over time. Acting consistently creates evidence. Evidence shapes belief. Belief reinforces behavior. This cycle strengthens self-image. Self-image drives future choices. Consistency transforms intention into identity. Identity sustains habits. Confidence grows internally. Discipline becomes natural. Growth feels aligned rather than forced. Resistance often appears at the beginning of habit formation because the brain prefers familiar patterns even if they are unhealthy. Resistance is a sign of change. Awareness reduces fear. Persistence retrains the brain. New habits feel uncomfortable briefly. Comfort grows through repetition. Discipline becomes easier. Resistance fades gradually. Strength develops quietly. Consistency overcomes initial discomfort. Routines protect consistency by anchoring habits to time, environment, or cues that reduce reliance on willpower. Predictable cues trigger action. Action becomes automatic. Automatic behavior conserves energy. Energy supports focus. Focus improves execution. Structure reduces chaos. Chaos weakens discipline. Routines create stability. Stability supports growth. Showing up consistently, even imperfectly, matters more than performing perfectly on rare occasions. Perfectionism causes avoidance. Avoidance breaks consistency. Imperfect action maintains momentum. Momentum supports confidence. Confidence encourages persistence. Growth continues despite mistakes. Consistency tolerates imperfection. Progress remains steady. Self-improvement becomes realistic. Consistency builds self-trust because keeping promises to yourself reinforces reliability and confidence. Each follow-through strengthens belief. Belief reduces doubt. Doubt weakens discipline. Self-trust stabilizes effort. Effort becomes dependable. Growth accelerates naturally. Identity solidifies. Confidence deepens over time. Ultimately, consistency is what transforms habits into lasting change. Because repetition builds structure, identity, and confidence simultaneously. Small actions accumulate power. Discipline replaces motivation. Stability replaces chaos. Growth becomes inevitable. And when consistency is practiced daily, self-improvement stops being a struggle and becomes a way of living. With consistency forming the backbone of your daily habits, the next step is learning how to manage your mindset. Because habits thrive or fail based on how you think about effort, progress, and yourself. In the next chapter, we will explore how mindset shapes daily self-improvement. Chapter 3. Mindset for Daily Growth. Training your thinking for long-term improvement. This chapter is important because habits alone cannot survive a mindset filled with self-criticism, impatience, or unrealistic expectations, making mindset a critical component of sustainable self-improvement. In this chapter, you will learn how mindset influences behavior. You will understand why negative self-talk blocks progress. You will discover how patience supports consistency. You will learn how growth mindset changes effort. You will understand why comparison is harmful. You will see how mindset affects discipline. You will learn how to reframe setbacks. You will understand why progress feels slow. You will gain clarity on self-compassion. You will learn how mindset supports resilience. You will understand why belief shapes behavior. And by the end of this chapter, you will see mindset as the soil in which habits grow. Mindset shapes daily behavior because the way you interpret effort determines whether you persist or quit. Seeing effort as burden creates resistance. Seeing effort as investment creates motivation. Awareness shifts interpretation. Interpretation influences emotion. Emotion influences action. Action shapes habit. Habit reinforces mindset. This loop determines success. Mindset guides consistency. Growth depends on perception. Negative self-talk undermines habits because harsh inner dialogue drains energy and increases avoidance. Self-criticism triggers stress. Stress weakens discipline. Weak discipline disrupts habits. Awareness reveals inner language. Replacing criticism with encouragement restores balance. Supportive self-talk strengthens persistence. Confidence grows gradually. Mindset stabilizes behavior. Patience is essential for daily growth because habits compound slowly and results are rarely immediate. Impatience creates frustration. Frustration leads to quitting. Awareness restores perspective. Progress may be subtle. Subtle progress still matters. Trusting the process sustains effort. Patience supports consistency. Growth unfolds naturally. Endurance strengthens mindset. A growth mindset supports daily improvement by viewing challenges as opportunities rather than evidence of failure. Difficulty becomes feedback. Feedback guides adjustment. Adjustment improves performance. Learning replaces shame. Persistence increases. Confidence stabilizes. Growth accelerates through learning. Mindset shifts outcome interpretation. Comparison weakens mindset because it shifts focus away from personal progress and replaces it with unrealistic standards. Comparison distorts reality. It fuels dissatisfaction. Awareness restores focus inward. Personal growth is unique. Progress becomes meaningful again. Confidence strengthens. Mindset stabilizes. Setbacks are inevitable, but mindset determines whether setbacks become lessons or stopping points. Viewing setbacks as failure holds progress. Viewing setbacks as information supports learning. Learning strengthens habits. Awareness reframes experience. Resilience grows through reflection. Growth continues calmly. Self-compassion supports habits because kindness toward yourself reduces stress and improves consistency. Compassion prevents burnout. Burnout destroys habits. Balance sustains effort. Mindset becomes supportive rather than hostile. Growth becomes humane. Ultimately, mindset determines whether daily habits flourish or fade, because thoughts shape emotions, emotions shape behavior, and behavior shapes outcomes. Supportive thinking strengthens discipline. Patience sustains effort. Self-respect preserves growth. And when mindset aligns with daily habits, self-improvement becomes steady, realistic, and deeply transformative. With a supportive mindset in place, the next step is learning how to manage your time and energy wisely. Because even the best habits fail when life feels rushed, scattered, or overwhelming. In the next chapter, we will explore how daily self-improvement becomes easier when your time and energy are structured intentionally. Chapter 4. Managing time and energy, creating space for daily improvement. This chapter is important because self-improvement habits cannot survive in constant chaos, exhaustion, or overcommitment, making time and energy management essential for long-term growth. In this chapter, you will learn why time alone is not enough. You will understand how energy affects discipline. You will discover why busyness blocks growth. You will learn how to prioritize improvement daily. You will understand why rest supports progress. You will see how structure reduces overwhelm. You will learn how to protect your time. You will understand why pacing matters. You will gain clarity on balancing effort and recovery. You will learn how to avoid burnout. You will understand why simplicity strengthens habits. And by the end of this chapter, you will see time and energy as tools for growth rather than obstacles. Time does not automatically create improvement, because without energy and focus, available time is often wasted or misused. Long days feel unproductive. Fatigue reduces discipline. Distraction fills empty time. Awareness reveals energy patterns. Energy guides habit placement. Improvement works best when energy is respected. Timing matters more than duration. Short focused effort outperforms long exhausted effort. Understanding this changes planning. Self-improvement becomes strategic. Growth feels lighter. Busyness often feels productive, but constant activity without intention drains energy and leaves little room for meaningful habits. Busy schedules reduce reflection. Reflection supports awareness. Awareness guides improvement. Without space, habits feel forced. Forced habits fail quickly. Simplifying commitments restores energy. Energy supports consistency. Consistency builds growth. Reducing busyness protects progress. .com replaces rush. Prioritizing self-improvement requires intentional time boundaries, because what is not scheduled is easily replaced by urgency. Urgent tasks dominate attention. Important habits get postponed. Awareness restores balance. Scheduling creates protection. Protection preserves consistency. Small daily windows matter. Even brief moments count. Consistency thrives within boundaries. Improvement becomes non-negotiable. Structure supports discipline. Energy fluctuates throughout the day, which means placing habits at the right time improves success dramatically. Morning energy suits focus. Midday energy suits action. Evening energy suits reflection. Awareness identifies peaks. Aligning habits with peaks reduces resistance. Resistance weakens consistency. Alignment strengthens follow-through. Effort feels natural. Progress becomes steady. Rest is not an interruption to growth, but a requirement for it, because recovery restores the mental and emotional capacity needed for discipline. Exhaustion weakens willpower. Fatigue increases avoidance. Rest repairs focus. Focus supports habits. Balance prevents burnout. Burnout destroys consistency. Awareness honors limits. Sustainable growth includes rest. Strength grows through balance. The structure reduces overwhelm because clear plans reduce decision fatigue and mental clutter. Too many choices exhaust the mind. Exhaustion weakens habits. Structure simplifies action. Simplicity preserves energy. Energy fuels consistency. Consistency builds confidence. Progress stabilizes. Life feels manageable again. Protecting time requires saying no to unnecessary commitments that dilute energy and attention. Overcommitment creates stress. Stress weakens discipline. Awareness restores boundaries. Boundaries protect growth. Self-respect supports consistency. Saying no preserves focus. Focus strengthens habits. Improvement becomes intentional. Ultimately, managing time and energy creates the space in which daily self-improvement habits can grow without pressure or burnout. Structure replaces chaos. Balance replaces exhaustion. Awareness replaces overwhelm. And when time and energy are managed intentionally, growth becomes sustainable rather than stressful. With time and energy supporting your habits, the next step is learning how to improve yourself emotionally, because emotional imbalance often undermines even the best routines. In the next chapter, we will explore how emotional awareness and regulation support daily self-improvement. Chapter 5. Emotional self-improvement, building balance, awareness, and stability. This chapter is important because emotions influence motivation, discipline, and decision-making more powerfully than logic, making emotional growth essential for consistent self-improvement. In this chapter, you will learn why emotions matter. You will understand how emotions affect habits. You will discover why emotional suppression fails. You will learn how awareness stabilizes feelings. You will understand why emotional balance supports consistency. You will see how stress undermines growth. You will learn how to regulate emotions daily. You will understand why self-compassion matters. You will gain clarity on responding rather than reacting. You will learn how emotional growth builds resilience. You will understand why calm supports discipline. And by the end of this chapter, you will see emotional improvement as a daily practice. Emotions influence daily habits because feelings shape energy levels, focus, and willingness to act. Stress reduces patience. Anxiety scatters attention. Frustration weakens discipline. Awareness reveals emotional patterns. Understanding reduces reactivity. Emotional clarity restores control. Control supports consistency. Habits stabilize emotions. This feedback loop supports growth. Emotional awareness is foundational. Suppressing emotions weakens self-improvement because ignored feelings resurface as burnout, avoidance, or impulsive behavior. Suppression increases pressure. Pressure seeks release. Release disrupts habits. Awareness allows expression. Expression reduces intensity. Regulation replaces avoidance. Balance restores discipline. Growth becomes sustainable. Emotional awareness strengthens habits because noticing feelings early prevents them from quietly controlling behavior. Naming emotions creates distance. Distance restores choice. Choice supports discipline. Calm responses replace reaction. Stability increases. Emotional maturity develops gradually. Awareness protects progress. Stress management is critical for emotional improvement. Because chronic stress drains energy and weakens consistency, stress narrows perspective. Narrow perspective increases impulsivity. Awareness calms the nervous system. Calm restores clarity. Clarity improves decisions. Emotional regulation preserves effort. Balance supports growth. Self-compassion supports emotional improvement because harsh self-judgment increases stress and reduces motivation. Criticism drains energy. Kindness restores balance. Understanding replaces shame. Growth continues without fear. Compassion stabilizes effort. Discipline becomes humane. Responding rather than reacting is a skill that improves with practice, allowing habits to survive emotional fluctuations. Pausing interrupts impulse. Reflection improves clarity. Intentional response preserves progress. Emotional strength builds slowly. Control becomes reliable. Emotional balance improves resilience because stable emotions allow effort to continue through difficulty rather than collapse under pressure. Balance supports endurance. Endurance strengthens confidence. Confidence reinforces habits. Growth stabilizes. Ultimately, emotional self-improvement creates the inner stability required for habits to last because calm awareness replaces emotional chaos. Balance replaces burnout. Compassion replaces pressure. And when emotions are managed daily, self-improvement becomes steady, realistic, and deeply sustainable. Now that emotional balance supports your habits from the inside. The next step is learning how to improve your focus and attention. Because self-improvement cannot grow when the mind is constantly distracted or scattered. In the next chapter, we will explore how daily focus habits strengthen progress and protect your growth. Chapter 6. Focus and Attention, Strengthening the Mind for Daily Improvement. This chapter is important because attention determines where your energy goes, and without focus, even the best intentions dissolve into distraction and unfinished effort. In this chapter, you will learn why focus matters for self-improvement. You will understand how distraction weakens habits. You will discover why attention is limited. You will learn how to train focus daily. You will understand how environment affects concentration. You will see why single tasking improves growth. You will learn how to reduce mental noise. You will understand why clarity supports discipline. You will gain insight into rebuilding attention span. You will learn how focus increases consistency. You will understand why calm attention matters. And by the end of this chapter, you will see focus as a skill that protects progress. Focus supports self-improvement because attention is the gateway through which habits are practiced consistently. Scattered attention reduces quality. Reduced quality weakens motivation. Motivation loss breaks habits. Awareness restores direction. Direction improves effort. Effort builds confidence. Confidence reinforces habits. Focus creates momentum. Momentum accelerates growth. Attention becomes intentional. Improvement becomes effective. Distraction weakens habits because constant interruption fragments effort and prevents deep engagement. Notifications break concentration. Multitasking drains energy. Switching tasks increases fatigue. Awareness reveals these patterns. Reducing distractions restores clarity. Clarity improves execution. Execution strengthens habits. Disciplined growth feels calmer. Attention is limited by nature, which means focusing on fewer things improves quality rather than reducing productivity. Too many goals overwhelm the mind. Overwhelm causes avoidance. Awareness simplifies priorities. Simplification strengthens focus. Focus improves results. Results build confidence. Confidence supports consistency. Growth becomes manageable. Training focus daily requires gentle practice rather than force, because attention improves gradually through repetition. Short focus sessions build stamina. Consistency strengthens endurance. Progress feels subtle. Patience supports growth. Focus becomes more reliable. Resistance fades. Discipline improves naturally. Environment shapes attention because visual, digital, and social cues influence focus automatically. Clutter increases distraction. Silence supports clarity. Awareness guides design. Simplifying surroundings protects attention. Focus improves effortlessly. Discipline becomes easier. Single tasking supports growth because sustained attention produces better understanding, deeper learning, and stronger habits. Multitasking reduces depth. Depth improves mastery. Mastery builds confidence. Focused effort feels rewarding. Growth accelerates. Reducing mental noise requires managing internal distractions such as worry, overthinking, and constant planning. Awareness notices mental chatter. Gentle redirection restores focus. Calm thinking improves discipline. Attention stabilizes. Ultimately, focus and attention strengthen self-improvement by ensuring effort is applied intentionally rather than wasted through distraction. Clarity replaces chaos. Presence replaces scatter. And when attention is trained daily, progress becomes steady and reliable. With focus supporting your habits, the next step is learning how to improve discipline and self-control. Because habits only last when you can act consistently regardless of mood or circumstances. In the next chapter, we will explore how self-control strengthens daily self-improvement. Chapter 7, Discipline and Self-Control. Staying consistent even on hard days. This chapter is important because discipline is what keeps self-improvement alive when motivation fades, emotions fluctuate, or progress feels slow. In this chapter, you will learn what discipline truly is. You will understand why self-control matters daily. You will discover how discipline is built gradually. You will learn why discipline feels uncomfortable initially. You will understand how routines support self-control. You will see how discipline builds confidence. You will learn how to manage impulses. You will understand why patience strengthens discipline. You will gain clarity on staying consistent under pressure. You will learn how self-control protects habits. You will understand why discipline creates freedom. And by the end of this chapter, you will see discipline as a supportive skill rather than a punishment. Discipline works because it allows action to continue even when emotions or motivation are unstable. Feelings change daily. Discipline remains steady. Structure supports action. Action reinforces identity. Identity stabilizes habits. Discipline replaces hesitation. Progress continues quietly. Confidence grows internally. Self-trust deepens. Growth becomes reliable. Self-control strengthens habits because it prevents impulses from derailing consistency. Impulses seek comfort. Comfort delays growth. Awareness notices urges. Pausing weakens impulse. Choice replaces reaction. Discipline restores direction. Habits survive emotional swings. Control improves gradually. Discipline feels uncomfortable initially because the brain resists unfamiliar effort even when it is beneficial. Resistance is natural. Awareness reduces frustration. Persistence retrains patterns. New habits become familiar. Familiarity reduces effort. Discipline becomes lighter. Strength grows beneath awareness. Routines support discipline by removing daily negotiation and reducing reliance on willpower. Predictable cues trigger action. Action becomes automatic. Automatic behavior conserves energy. Energy supports consistency. Discipline thrives within structure. Managing impulses is essential for discipline because unchecked urges often lead to short-term comfort at the cost of long-term growth. Awareness creates pause. Pause allows choice. Choice protects habits. Discipline strengthens identity. Patience strengthens discipline because expecting immediate results creates frustration that undermines effort. Slow progress remains progress. Trusting the process supports endurance. Discipline stabilizes over time. Discipline builds confidence because following through proves capability rather than weakness. Evidence strengthens belief. Belief reinforces consistency. Growth accelerates. Ultimately, discipline and self-control keep self-improvement steady by protecting habits from emotion, distraction, and impatience. Structure replaces struggle. Commitment replaces doubt. And when discipline is practiced daily, improvement becomes dependable. As we reach the final chapter, it is time to integrate everything into a clear vision of long-term self-improvement. Because habits must evolve into a lifestyle to create lasting change. Chapter 8. Lifelong Self-Improvement. Turning daily habits into a way of living. This final chapter is important because self-improvement is not a temporary phase, but a lifelong process shaped by consistency, balance, and self-respect. In this chapter, you will learn how habits become identity. You will understand why balance sustains growth. You will discover how reflection supports progress. You will learn why patience matters long-term. You will understand how self-respect fuels consistency. You will see how adaptability protects habits. You will learn how improvement evolves over time. You will understand why peace matters more than pressure. You will gain clarity on living intentionally. You will learn how habits shape life direction. You will understand why growth is never finished. And by the end of this chapter, you will see self-improvement as a way of life. Lifelong self-improvement means aligning daily habits with values so growth feels meaningful rather than forced. Alignment reduces resistance. Resistance drains energy. Meaning sustains effort. Habits become natural. Identity stabilizes. Confidence grows quietly. Balance protects growth because extreme effort leads to burnout while moderation supports consistency. Rest restores energy. Energy fuels discipline. Discipline preserves habits. Balance sustains progress. Reflection supports improvement by allowing awareness, adjustment, and learning rather than repetition without insight. Reflection reveals patterns. Patterns guide change. Change improves outcomes. Growth becomes intentional. Patience is essential because long-term improvement unfolds gradually through repeated effort rather than dramatic transformation. Slow growth lasts longer. Acceptance prevents frustration. Trust supports consistency. Self-respect fuels improvement because honoring limits, values, and needs prevents resentment and collapse. Respect stabilizes effort. Discipline becomes humane. Growth becomes sustainable. Ultimately, lifelong self-improvement is about choosing small positive actions daily while remaining flexible, patient, and compassionate toward yourself. Habits shape identity. Identity shapes life. And when self-improvement becomes a lifestyle, growth continues naturally without pressure or burnout. In Daily Self-Improvement Habits Audiobook English, you have learned how habits, consistency, mindset, time and energy management, emotional balance, focus, discipline, and lifelong perspective work together to create meaningful personal growth. This audiobook is not about perfection, but about steady progress built through daily effort and self-respect. If this audiobook helped you reflect or take a small step forward, we invite you to subscribe to Framer audiobooks like this audiobook, share it with someone who wants to improve their life gradually, and leave a comment telling us which habit or chapter resonated with you the most. Thank you for listening to Framer audiobooks, and remember that small improvements practiced daily lead to powerful change over time.